What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Raga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be doing the weekly reading for the week of April 26th through May 2nd. Oh my goodness, we're moving into May. It's crazy. I feel like I've just been in my house for a few months. It's a sore subject, I know. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great week last week. I don't know about you, but my reading last week was on point for me. I felt kind of lethargic. I felt tired, and I used last week as a way to re-energize my energy. I was kind of struggling how to say that. I found a way to re-energize my energy by just taking it easy last week, and I hope you guys were able to do the same. And we're going to move into this week and see how we can make the most of this upcoming week. I'm actually pretty curious to see what the cards have to say, because I don't know. We'll see. I got my Organite Pyramid. Dude, I can't talk today. I got my Organite Pyramid here with me. Just because, I've been keeping my Organites very, very close lately. While we're sitting in our homes all across the country, they're rolling out 5G. And there just haven't been any studies on it. They've pushed this technology without studying its implications on the human body. I think it's intentional. I think if they did a study, it would show how harmful it was, and they wouldn't be able to push this technology through. So they've just not done any studies. So Organite is a great tool to keep around your vibrational field as much as possible. If you're not sure about Organite or what it is, do some research. You're going to be fascinated. Okay, so I got my Organite Pyramid here, and we're going to be using the Universal Celtic Tarot today. I love this deck. It's a fun deck. I love fun decks, so this should be a fun reading. But before we get into this reading, it's the tradition. It's the singing bowls. I'm going to bring you a little short concert here, as I always do, at least as I always try to do. And if you want, you can skip it. Just plain and simple. If you want to hear the bowls, let's do it. Alright, the first card we're going to look at is this middle one, and it represents the overall energy of this upcoming week. What we can expect from this week. Look at the colors on this card. We've got the Sun card. Ooh, give me a moment with this card. So the feeling I'm getting from this is that several things. First, truth brought to light. I think that this week is going to be a week for information to come through for a lot of us. And for you as an individual, and probably for us as a collective. This may have to do with this supposed virus going around. It may have to do with some insights into you and your life and your soul and your motivation. So this is going to come in a variety of different ways. But the sun is here. The sun illuminates. It both causes shadow and it also removes the shadow. You know what I'm saying? So it is paradox a little bit, but it does make sense. When we bring illumination, the shadows kind of recede. So I get the feeling here that this week is going to be a week of high energy, information coming in. This could also have to do with the weather. Unless you're in the southern hemisphere, it's time for the sun to poke its beautiful head out, and it's time for us to absorb that sun's energy. And so to me, this is no more than source energy coming down. I think that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here. Source energy. The sun is a conduit of source energy, and we subsist off that source energy. And the more of it that we can allow into our lives, the brighter things will become, the higher vibrational things will become, and there's no shadows for the dark creatures to hide in. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I know that's kind of general, that's kind of vague, but this is a general reading. I think what you should take away from this is whatever it means for you. What does new information coming down to illuminate mean for you? And I think we'll find out as the week unfolds, basically. All right, so let's look at this card, which represents what to hold on to this week, what you should be focusing on, what you should be holding on to. And we've got the Five of Wands. I love this deck. Look at the dragons arguing. All right, give me a moment with this card. Oh, okay. Interesting. I've never got this message from the Five of Wands, but then again, I've never seen a bunch of dragons arguing with some wizards. The feeling I'm getting from this card is that this week it's going to be very important that you allow other people's reality. Yes, you have your perspective, and from your perspective, this is true, this is true, this is true, that is false, that is false. That's fine. But you have to realize that other people have completely different realities from your own. Right, there are different vibrations, there are different points of their soul's journey, and just accept where they're coming from. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to try to persuade them. All you have to do is say, yes, that is their reality. Maybe it doesn't align with mine, and that's okay. But if you're going to be adamant that your reality is the right reality, then you're going to get into these arguments, and that's not what we want. We want to keep things as smooth as possible this week, and that just means going with the flow and accepting other people's differences, really. Accept the differences of other people. I mean, for example, let's say you come across a murderer, and your first instinct is like, that person's evil, that person should be in jail for the rest of their life, that person maybe, should just be removed from society. And that's your perspective. But from their perspective, they were beaten as a child. They never received love. They were put into a situation they didn't understand how to cope with because they were never trained to. They were never taught to. They responded emotionally and they made a mistake. And that's their perspective. So you can see how those two perspectives are wildly different. And it's just very important that you don't try to put your perspective onto other people, because you're not them, they're not you. Okay, let's move to this last card, and this represents what to let go of this week, what we can release, what we can just say no, don't need it. We got the Seven of Wands. Boy, I love the color in this deck. Give me a moment with this card. Yeah, to me this goes hand in hand with the Five of Wands. To me this card is saying, if you make the choice to impose your reality on another person's reality, there's going to be blowback. There's going to be negative repercussions. And you don't want that. I mean, look at this lady. She's being attacked by gargoyle bat things with wings, and she don't like it. Okay? She just doesn't like it, and I don't blame her. But she's reaping what she has sown. She has chosen to not go with the flow. Instead, she's chosen to fight against what is. And when you fight against anything, you're going to get more fighting. And so I think that's what this woman is learning. That's her lesson, is that, I fought against these little gargoyle things, and now they're fighting back. Whoops, won't do that again. So I think what this this card is really saying is, as more light comes in and you start to see new information comes in, you start to see different people's perspective and how they take in that information. Don't fight that perspective. Let them have their perspective. Focus on your perspective, and I think that's the most important thing for this week, at least. I mean, next week's a whole different monster, so I don't know. We'll check in the next Sunday again and see what next week has to say. But for this week, information seems to be coming in, and it's important that you take in that information, process the information, develop beliefs based on the information, but let other people do other people. I mean, this week seems to be a focus on the self and not getting into trouble with other people. If that makes any sense. I never know if this makes any sense. I appreciate your comments in the comment section. If it didn't make sense, I would love to hear why, and maybe I can explain it better, or I can improve my reading style. I love to improve. Anyway, let's go on to the Oracle deck we're going to be using today. It is the Sacred Earth Oracle. I haven't used this one too much, and we're going to ask it what message it has for us this upcoming week. Overall message, right? Oh, dust. Yeah. Gotta zoom out a wee bit. That's in. That's out. And the overall message for this week is potential. Give me a moment with this card. Well, isn't that interesting? Okay, so I'm getting two types of potential here. There's your outer potential, who's this woman, and then there's your inner potential. And I think the outer potential is created by society. Society tells you what you can potentially do. You could be a lawyer, right? You could be a doctor. You gotta work hard. You gotta go to school. You gotta pay your debts. But you could be. That's your outer potential. But I think the inner potential is what's struggling to be seen, right? This is limitless. There is no limit to what this inner person can do. This person is limited by society. So I think the message for this week is to listen to this, the inner potential. You're capable of so many different things that you have no idea you're capable of. You're capable of performing miracles, impossible tasks. But if you're going to be listening only to this outer person, well, they're going to say, well, of course you can't make $1 million. Of course you can't become president. Of course you can't do this and can't do that. But this person's saying, I can do all of those things and more. So why would you ever listen to this person over this person? So it's about listening to your inner guidance, right? Like I said, there's going to be information coming down this week. And in order to understand that information with the highest vibration is to filter it through your inner self, your higher self. And I think that's what you're going to need to do today is this week, I should say, is to embrace your inner potential, not society potential. If that makes any sense. Again, I don't know. That's just the message I get. I hope it makes sense to you. But I do want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you all a happy week. And I just really do appreciate all your support, your likes, your comments, your shares. They really mean a lot to me. So thank you so much for that. And have a great week. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace.